In this video, you'll learn Tom Noske's simple editing style to recreate for yourself. But before we get into this tutorial, my name is Editing Torsten, where I create editing packs and presets for content creators just like you. And more information about that will be linked in the description. Now let's jump into Premiere Pro. Now for this first effect we're gonna do, you can see as I play it, it has a nice movement upwards with motion blur to get that nice like little simplistic aesthetic pop that we can do. And his entire style is caption based. So you might be thinking like, oh no, I'm gonna have to manually do these all myself. No, let's let Premiere do all the captions for us so we don't have to do any of that mofu gofu stuff that no one likes. And then next I'll show you how to automate this type style using the effects in here, and I'll even show you a faster and better way than the first effect. So what you want to do is go up to your text, you want to transcribe the sequence, and once you're done transcribing it, should just be really quick. Awesome. Hit this captions, create captions from transcript, scroll this down, bring them all the way to the left, also hit single, create captions. Now we have these nice little captions. Isn't that just amazing? Now highlight them all and kind of arrange them to where you want it to be. You don't have to go exactly where he is, but for this tutorial, that's what I'm going to be doing. So I just like to use these zones. The zones is basically this left middle zone is the left middle of the screen, top right, top middle, middle. So he kind of has it to the left and in the middle. So I'm just going to use these operations, bring them down like so, bring it to the left a little bit too. He also doesn't use any shadow, so just drop that. But if you guys want drop shadow, just click this and you can get a nice little drop shadow. Uses a pretty bold font. I don't know exactly what it is, but I have a font that I love to use that it works perfectly with this type of style. So it's called Montserrat. If you guys don't have that, you should definitely get it. It's a very popular aesthetic. I use it in about everything I do. And I'm just gonna use that black. I don't think he actually does throughout the entire video. Let's see. He doesn't use bold super, so when you have these all highlighted, make sure that you go kind of like regular. No, that's a little too, yeah, bold looks a lot better. Now let's do this effect. So once we've got these, the captions are not exactly ready because we can't add any of these kind of movements to it because it's just in a caption. It's technically just a subtitle still. So come up to your graphics and titles, and as you highlight all of these, it should be this upgrade caption and graphic. That basically just allows you, like I said, to add all these presets and effects that are going to be onto it. Now, we can just do a simple one that I'm going to show you right now. Let's just zoom in. This is pretty nice. I'm just gonna grab them like a staircase, and that's exactly what you wanna do. So imagine these layers are like a staircase. So the first letter is right here, and the second one goes above and above and above and above. And that's how you want to stack them. So by the end, it should look exactly like this. So you can see that my layers are exactly like a staircase. Here goes the first one, and you go to the second stair, third stair, fourth, and then the final stair. And they're also extended all the way. Make sure they extend them so it doesn't disappear. And I'm just gonna line them up like his. You guys can align them up like that too if you have that many words, or just make sure to stack them because that's kind of his style. And I'll get right back to you once I do it. As I'm doing this and finalizing it, when you guys can stack these, so you can see how his on his right and on mine, you can see how they kind of like elongate. So what he does is actually just whatever, if you have like a D or an I or something that's like has a long type of stem like I's and H's and stuff like that, make sure to try to connect them. So then you kind of get that long kind of effect that looks pretty cool. And if you really need to like move it centimeters, just grab your position and hold Command or Windows on it, and it'll barely move it. So like so, there we go. And now you kind of have that effect that he has, but we don't have that nice slide up like we're looking for. What we want to do is search up a effect called transform. So transform, drag it onto your layer, go into your effects and controls. Make sure to go to your transform, hit a toggle animation on position, opacity, and make sure to uncheck this checkbox, hit angle shutter all the way up. This will just basically make it so then when it moves up and down and left to right or whatever kind of movement you're doing, it has a nice motion blur instead of it's just kind of like fading in and being a little boring. So that's why we do that. And now I have this Ive, so I'm just gonna drag these keyframes over here like so. Make this first keyframe just go down a little bit, so then it has that kind of, you see it has that like motion. And for the opacity, make sure to put it on 0, so you kind of get like an effect like that. Maybe just grab this right, kind of have it fade in more. Now you have that. But I'm sure you guys don't want to do that every single time and waste a bunch of time, do you? No. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna highlight all the ones that I want to slide up. I'm gonna go to my text and logo animation preset pack. You guys can go get this link down in the description. It'll make you look exactly like Tom Noske and upgrade your quality of workflow and editing speed. I'm just gonna drag it on. Now we have this nice kind of fade up. Isn't that amazing? Now I can just highlight these because they're kind of up too high. I'm gonna bring this up here, highlight them, bring them up again, extend them out because I know we're gonna have to use them for these ones over here. It's kind of like flicker effect. Extend these too, highlight them, nest it, and all you have to do is just go to your motion like so, bring it down, and now you have that nice kind of popped. Perfect. Now we just do this video, it just pops in like that. And for the rest of these captions, let's just highlight these like so. You can see on his side, if I zoom in, he has a very small and very thin font. So I'm just gonna highlight them all, light it like so. That might be a little too, maybe let's go regular. Yeah, this looks a little better. And then you just resize them, put them down like I'm going to do right now. Kind of resize that, go to this first one and make it to the right side. And it should look exactly like this. Now let's go on to the simple flicker effect that he does. All I'm gonna do is make sure that you nest the two that you have. I'm just gonna nest it really quick. And what the nesting basically does is it allows us to apply the flicker effect to not just one of them and kind of off balance it, but to both of them and at the exact same time. So they flicker at the exact same time rather than it just, you know, being really awkward and not looking good. You can just do it by searching up flicker. I'm just gonna use my preset, but you can just do it by going to the opacity and messing around with the keyframes, just going 100 to 0, 100 to 0. But that's just wastes a lot of time, so we're not gonna do that. Just grab, drag, kind of drag these, separate them like you want because this clip is a little too small for it. And we get a nice flicker effect just like his. Love that to use. Awesome. Now let's move on to the next part. The rest of the video, he kind of just lets the captions be itself until kind of getting towards the one spot when he does the crop part where it is kind of filmed me. What he does is just grabs this first one, brings the right one up like we're doing with the staircase like I said earlier. Grab this one, bring it to the right, and now just go to your properties, bring it to the left like so, the other one like so. And now you have this cool kind of like pop like his, where over here he does pop just like that. And he keeps doing that until he hits these blue words. So just keep doing that. And now just simply scale these up a little bit, make them blacker or bolder, make them bolder, and change the coloring. If you guys want the exact same color, here it is, this code. But if you guys don't want that color, you can just do a simple different other color, like, I mean, gray looks pretty nice, or kind of like a shaded green like that looks pretty nice too. Just whatever you guys' preferences, and then just do that throughout the entire video. Now, last but not least, now let's go on to how he does this type of like overlay with this nice rounded corners that is really cool and cropped type of version. And it's really simple. All he does is he drags in his B-roll like he has right here, where it's not his A-roll. His A-roll is the first clip, and then this is his B-roll. So let's just say my B-roll is this clip right here. I'm just gonna size it down with scale and search up rounded corners, drag it onto the layer, boom, you are done. Isn't that crazy? That fast, that easy. And if you guys want those packs, I'll leave it down, link in description. Use the code TOM to save $5 off your order. And click this video right over here to learn how to edit like Devin Jaflo.